think, yeah, we're live now. How are you doing? It's great to have everybody here today. Super pumped to be sharing this masterclass with you, the CEO plan, which is all part of the Know, Like and Trust series. So a couple of things, if you have any questions, as usual, I will answer the questions at the end, but do put them in the chat box at the side as we go along. And as you might know, with Google Hangout on air, it takes a little time between the delay of me talking and your questions popping up. I think it's about a minute or two delay. So if you have any questions, pop them in the box and I will answer them for you at the end. And also this time, if you have any technical glitches, then if you go to my website, www.clairefielder.com/webinar, you should be able to see this YouTube link and be able to watch the webinar from there if you do have any technical glitches. But anyway, let's get on with the masterclass. As I said, hello, my name is Claire Fielder, and today's masterclass is all about making those big goals really actionable. So let's get on with the presentation. Let me just share my slides with you. Let's go over to there. Fantastic. So as I said, this is all about creating action. And I don't know about you, but many new and emerging entrepreneurs really struggle, I think, with that juxtaposition between having this overall strategic thinking and the details of doing role, because we do really have to wear quite a few hats. I have to say, by the way, apologies if you hear any banging and drilling. My neighbours upstairs are doing some revamping, so apologies if you can hear that. I can just hear them starting again, so apologies for that. As I said, from my previous experience, I've had to do that big thinking role and the action ball doing role quite a bit, especially in my old corporate role, where for a number of occasions where I had my old role and then I got promoted into a new role and they didn't have anybody to take over my old job. So I was switching between different managerial roles and a more junior role. And that it was very, very difficult and complex tasks and sort of mindset that you need to put yourself into. And I think when you're thinking about being the CEO, you know, and the direction that you're taking the business, it is really all about the relationships and the circumstances that surround you. And the way I kind of put it is, you know, without the plan, you can't win. You know, many of us become online entrepreneurs, online business people, because we have these really big dreams. And that term CEO may really scare some people. So if you're kind of one of those people, then maybe this quote will help you to reframe it. It's by John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. So hopefully that will really help you to reframe that if you need to. So what are we going to cover in this training today? We're going to create a really lovely solid action plan for you to achieve your goals. We're going to get clarity on the precise actions you need to take and when. You're also going to learn a very simple tool for visualizing and planning out your success and mapping out your ideal future to achieve your best. And as I said at the end, I've got some Q&A time for you. So hopefully this presentation should be around about 20-30 minutes. So we've got some great time for questions if we have any at the end. So you might be wondering who I am. I call everybody darling, I have to say, so it's just natural I put that on the slide. Hello, darlings. So my name is Claire Fielder. I am a life and business strategist, a pathfinder, if you will, an orchestrator. I really adore finding the simplicity of life, and simplicity is my word for 2015. And also being a heart listener and seeing the beauty which many, many other people ignore. And it's through seeing those little details that really help to put the finesse on things. I guide people so they can see both the light and the shadow of who they are, because that's what makes us complete, both what we're amazing at and maybe what we're not so amazing at. And I really especially help new and emerging female entrepreneurs to get laser focus and clear on how to best use their energy and get real results in their business. So I have two key mottos, and they are splattered all over my website because they're very important to me. So my first life motto is a spare hand is a helping hand. And this really comes from, I think this is like inbred in my DNA. So when I was a very small child, we always lived in a place which had quite a lot of old neighbours. And so if I saw them walking down the road with a bag of shopping, if I had a spare hand, I'd always offer to carry their shopping home for them and make them a cup of tea. Yes, it does sound very old-fashioned, but that was the way I kind of was brought up. And so even now, I really do think if my hand is physically spared to help somebody, or metaphorically, then I do. The other business motto I have is making the complex simple. And really, I hate it when people find things overwhelming and frustrating, because I know I find that for myself quite often on things. And it's about, you know, taking that step back and looking about how can we make this more simple. As I said, simplicity is my word for 2015. So why do you want to use this CEO plan that I've created? It's to help you understand what your key priorities, and by defining what your key action streams are, or pillars if you like, it really helps you to identify what you need to be focused on. We're also going to be creating a plan to shift your business to look more like you want it to. By being really clear about the achievable action plan you have for your business will allow you to reach your goals. By identifying your key goal and the targets to achieve at different stages. And this is all about, this tool, this model is all about allowing you to choose the timescale for your goals and for your targets that best suit you. This is also a tool to help you decide which projects, tasks, jobs, whatever label you want to put on those types of things, to really focus on, which allows you to really put yourself in the driving seat of your actions. And obviously, by having more energy, more clarity, freedom, and how to serve your clients better will always help you make more money. And who doesn't love that? So just a quick summary of, let's go here. And so a quick summary of the 5 key areas that we're going to be looking at today. The first is about identifying that key goal, as we said, and what you want to achieve. And the next one is all about those supporting pillars to help you get there. Next, I'm going to look at the time frame, and as I said, it's your time frame to achieving that goal. The 4th step is all about working backwards. You might be a bit intrigued about what that actually means. And then finally, we're going to create a really short-term action plans for you to move forward. Step 1 is all about identifying what you want to achieve. What is that big goal? You know, what is it we're in business to do? And what is your vision that you want to complete? I love the Nepal Hill quote that says, a goal is a dream with a deadline. So what is it that kind of keeps you awake, that keeps you motivated first thing in the morning, that keeps you driven? What is that goal? You know, think what you're willing to give, what effort you put in to attain that goal. Maybe you want to think it from a financial point of view, that you want to associate with it. So you might be thinking, yes, okay, I've got a goal, what next? So as usual, I love to show you examples of how to use this in real life. So I'm just going to walk you through an example here. So for example, one of my goals was to create VIP days. I really wanted to create a change in the sort of blend of client mix that I had. And if I was being really honest, I love working in short, sharp bursts to see dramatic results really quickly. And that's just, oh gosh, sorry about the banging there. That really is my kind of working style. And it really allows me to work with clients on a more deeper level. So even if you don't have that 5-year plan or that big vision, you're working towards something. It may be as something as, you know, something to be seen as the go-to person in your field. Maybe you want to be recognized outside of your industry as an expert. Maybe it's the number of people you want to help or reach or have on your list this year or over the next 2 years. It may be that you want to have maybe a YouTube channel. It may be that you, as I said before, you want to reach X amount of pounds or dollars, a financial amount within that year. Okay, so let's walk through how we can make this dream a reality. So step 2 is all about identifying those key support pillars. So when you're thinking about this goal that you have, if you've written it down on a piece of paper, what are the key elements that are coming into your mind? Now, don't get dragged into the detail, because I know it's really easy to do. At the moment, we're just thinking about the headings. I've got some ideas and examples that I've shared with you here. So it might be marketing, social media, your email list, the type of clients you have. Maybe it's the services you offer, your branding, your team, or what you're going to actually outsource. You may be thinking things like, it could be more traditional. You might be thinking about turnover and net profit, your key markets. But there's also more online entrepreneurial things you might want to put in, such as rewards and recognition, by giving you that improved status online. And you also may be wanting to think about your passive income ratio as well. So let me show you how that would look. So as we say, we've got the VIP there in the middle, and then we've got these spokes or pillars coming out of that. And so the way I like to have them is just 8 of them going around there, and I've just shown you an example of what they could represent. So maybe one pillar is all about outsourcing. One could be about customer service care. What would my website look like because of this? My branding, and also my sales funnel. So you can see there what the start of the model would look like. So now we've identified our core goal, which is great, and those support pillars that we need around it. So the next step, our third step, is to identify the time frame, your time frame. It's your business, it's your goal. You absolutely get to decide what time frame you want to do that in. So what is that completion date for the goal? So, no, as always, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just what works for you. I remember a little while back, probably about maybe 4 months ago, I asked a big online Facebook group filled with online entrepreneurs, asking them how long they planned in their business for. And I guess this doesn't work as a can you guess, but when you think about what the shortest amount of time these people had as their business plans, you might be surprised to learn that some people, and really honestly, they really do believe a bit, was just 1 week. They were just going from 1 week to another without any big visions. And some of these businesses were making 6 figures or more. And one of the longest answers I got was 2 years. And so we can see that with online entrepreneurs, especially, that our time frame is shortened. And that's because we can find different ways around some of the barriers that we have, and we don't have as many barriers as maybe more those traditional types of businesses do. What is really important about this is identifying what you believe is the right time frame for you to complete this work, this goal. It's all about what works for you, nobody else. So as you can see here, I've got some little circles, and each of these circles represent a section of time. So here you can see we've got 9 months, 6 months, and then 3 months. And so that's just the time frame I put on this example. These could be years. Maybe you'd want to put an extra circle around to make 4 circles, so you could have 4 different quarters in 1 year. These months could be changed to years. As you can see, it's a really flexible tool to fit in with what your goals and expectations are. As I said, being an online entrepreneur, we have much shorter timelines than other business models, but you can see how this can also apply to more traditional models. As I said, we've got 8 different pillars here. And when I work with my clients, I really suggest that's the maximum number to have. The key focus here is about moving clients forward to achieve their goals and not getting stuck and overwhelmed. And I think if you have more than 8 pillars, you can start to move into that zone, which is not a great place to be. And if you feel like you need some more pillars, then maybe go back and just make that goal a little bit tighter, a little bit more refined. Hopefully that will help you move you forward. So our next 4th step is about working backwards to achieve more. So when we talk about planning in the more traditional sense, then it's quite normal to work outwards, not backwards. So we look at maybe the 3 months, then the 6 months, and the 9 months, as my example was earlier. That really, I suggest, is not the way to look at this, because that, I believe, really limits the way that you believe you can achieve this. It also allows for scope creep, which you know I don't like. And I think it allows you to do that because you are focusing on the smallest piece first rather than the key goal. So with this model, we always start with the furthest time point and work our way all the way back to the present day. I think this approach really allows us to get a greater chance of success and achievement with that goal. And it really brings together the different streams of activities and allows to look at the overall effect and impact it will have on our workload and us achieving that. So there you can see the 9-month element there. So I've just put on some little examples here. We're just going to use these 3. So we're going to look at the sales funnel, branding, and customer service care in relation to VIP's day. So as I said, we start with the outer layer first, that 9-month, the furthest point away. And so for customer service, that is really having in place first-class customer support and systems for my VIP days. And then when we look at the sales funnel, that would have a fully mapped out sales journey for my customers to go on. And then when I look at branding, it's about making sure I've got that whole VIP imagery, whether that's within all the documentation I send to my VIP clients, maybe it would be within the website as well. And so I would suggest always going through the outside ring on each different pillar first. So don't start with the sales funnel and work all the way in. You'll start to, once you do this model, you start to understand why you need to do that. I really would say, as you go through this first layer, the reason why I suggest doing it all in one go, as I said, that whole outer ring, is then you really get a sense and understanding of the flow and the pace of each pillar and which elements of these feel more heavy and more important to do. And you can use, when we think about pillars keeping up a house or a building, if one feels a bit wonky, then the rest can fall, can look a little uneasy, maybe it will fall down. So it really helps you to understand what the balance of this spoke of wheels really does look like. Once you give it a go yourself, you really will start to feel that as you do it. So next, if we look at the 6 months element. So again, once you've done all your 9 months element or that outer ring, move closer to that goal. So if I look at my customer service care, so in order to achieve my first-class support and systems, by 6 months' time, I would need to have reviewed all my current systems for future proofing. So are they fit for task, or do I need to go and research some other systems and support that I need in place to make sure I can achieve my goal in month 9? And again, the same is similar in the sales funnel. So I need to create my drip marketing material to really understand that I will be able to achieve my full sales map journey for my clients. And again, when we look at branding, what do I need to do by 6 months? I need to make sure I've got some amazing new photos and visuals to speak or scream VIP to my clients. Or maybe it's a light hush and come behind the, you know, the red rope of VIPness, and to make sure that that VIP element is really fully immersed within everything I'm doing. So then once you've done all those, that second layer there, so that 6 months layer, you can really start again to understand which of those pillars are feeling less heavy and which ones are feeling more stronger for you to complete. So as we move on to the 3 months here, you can see that for my customer support, what I need to do in month 3 in order to achieve my month 6 goal and my 9-month goal is to make sure I map out all the customer touch points at present. And when I look at my sales funnel, I need to be redesigning my lead magnet to be in line with my new offering to make sure that that can feed into my drip marketing content material, which then feeds into having a full sales map process. This also, when I look at my branding, it makes sure that I've got my sales copy, or speaking beautifully and VIPness, if that's a word that I've just made up. And I've got the imagery to go with that and the visuals, because I know what I want to say from the sales copy, which then influences my full VIP branding. So you can see how this model can add layer and layer, and you can really feel the difference from doing it the outside in. I mean, once you've completed this model, check it with clients, and check it in with your ideal clients at the moment, or maybe check it in with a friend to see if there's any verification that you need to do on it. Look for yourself. Are there any blind spots here? Are you going to get carried away by something, or have you really missed something really obvious that you need to do? Also, sort of sense checking with yourself. Is this stretching enough for you? Or did you scale it back so you thought about this in more detail? Did you scale it back as you did that? By understanding the level of mastery or skills that you will need to achieve these activities will allow you to assess those strengths and weaknesses, and what will need to be achieved in order to reach these goals. The other beauty of this model is you can really start to see where your bottlenecks may occur. Maybe what training, learning you need to complete in order to achieve this goal. What support resources do you need ahead of time? This will give you the flexibility to plan in these activities so you're not caught like a rabbit in the headlights, and then suddenly you feel like you need to do something because you've already pre-planned it. And this absolutely helps reduce the amount of overwhelm that you will experience. The other question I would say is, do all these elements really stack up against each other? And just again, go back and sense check. As I said, it'd be always, recommended to check this back in with I often check back in with my own client, but checking with somebody you trust that will give you honest and frank feedback that really will help you be clear about if this is the final check of, is this goal achievable? And as you can see, this model will give you great clarity and focus in achieving your goal, which allows it to become more real for you. So we've created that model now. We've got our key goal, we've got our pillars, we've got all those different targets that we set over, our defined period of time. There's a lot of information there, and that gives you a great overview of where you need to go. So now what we need to do for step 5 is create that short-term action plan. And this model is all about making consistent action steps to move you forward. And again, it may seem daunting and overwhelming. Creating a yearly plan is not, realistic for many people. And if it does seem too long-term, especially being in the online world, we know there's lots of changeable variables going on. However, having a 3-month, 90-day action plan appears more doable and more achievable, which means, particularly when I share this with my clients, that they are more likely to have passion around completing it and using it as part of their business over time. So let's get into the detail a little bit more. So here is what I've done. So you've got along the top there, we've got the pillar. So we've got the different pillars that we've talked through. So obviously if you've got 8 pillars, then you need 8 different rows across there. And then what is the key action we need to complete by 30 days, 60 days, and then 90 days. And I just, as a reminder for myself, I've put in the target that I've put on the CEO plan, the big spokey wheel. So I've transferred that into this 90-day plans to make sure I'm going to hit that target. So for the sales funnel, I'm going to do by 90 days, I need to understand the key wants and desires of my VIP clients. Then at 60 days, I'm going to craft a new lead magnet for them. And by 90 days, it's going to be published, designed, live, and ready to use. So with the branding, at 30 days, I'm going to be doing more market research to understand more about what I can offer my clients. And then at 60 days, it's about outlining what that product and services will be. Then at 90 days, it really is honing down and clarifying what the features and benefits are for my clients, which will absolutely allow me to write my new sales copy once I have all that information. When we look at the customer service care, so at 30 days, I'm going to list all the current touch points that my clients go through when they employ me to work with them and support them. So what are all those points? And then at 60 days, I'm going to review what a first-class touch point program would look like. And then I can map out what they would look like for that new product and services. So you can see there that customer services 90-day is also somewhat reliant on me scoping out the outline of the products and services for the branding at 60 days. And by doing all of that, then I will have mapped out all my customer touch points. So you'll be able to start to see what elements rely on each other to be completed before you can move on with other tasks, which allows you then to achieve what you need to achieve. As you can imagine, if you had 8 rows of these and you had 2 action points to do per week for each one, then you could be able to get those done. So you can see how much time and energy this can take up. So I absolutely would say start to put these actions in your diary, in your calendar, so you can really make space for these actions to be completed. Just because you write them down on a piece of paper doesn't make them magically happen. You need to create time if this is the goal that you truly want to and desire to achieve. What you might also want to do is mark into your diary when at the end of the 90 days to check back in with that CEO plan to see what updates you've done, how far you've come, how far you've grown, and how you can move forward and see where you need to make adjustments. So these are really live living documents for you. So just to recap that summary for you. So that is the CEO plan, where we identify the key goals that you want to achieve, what support pillars you need to able to achieve that goal, the time frame, and it's your time frame of which you can complete it, and how it's best to work backwards rather than forwards to achieve that goal, and also how to create your short-term 90-day action plan. So what are the next steps? So I've given you all the tools there that you need to do this yourself. However, if you do need any more support, guidance, hand-holding, accountability, then feel free to book in a 30-minute clarity call and refocus strategy. And that's free for 30 minutes, as I said. I'll leave that on the screen for a moment so you can go to that website address and just book in the time. I will also include that on the replay that I send out with the video so you can book yourself in and to move yourself forward. So I believe then we come to Q&A time. So let me stop sharing my screen and let's get back to over here. Let me see if I've got any questions. I can't see any in the chat box. Let me just chat over here in the event page. I don't have any in the event page as well. So I guess that we don't have any questions at the moment, or if you do and you don't want them answered live by me now, then that's no worries. I understand sometimes people don't like to do that. Then just hit reply to the email I send with the replay in and just share the question with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. It's been absolutely fabulous to talk to you today, as always, from the bottom of my heart to the bottom of yours. Thank you for listening, and I will see you real soon. Take care, sweethearts. Bye.